No, we're not going to do that. No, this is Father's Day, and that's what we're going to celebrate. Mother's Day just passed, so mothers will celebrate it. Now Father's Day is here. That's what we're going to celebrate.
She made man Freddie B, and then when I'm a father, y'all bet not call my wife, tell me some Happy Father's Day. I'll beat you down.
Yeah. Welcome to the TMF podcast, where we have too many feelings. I'm your host T Staples, and I'm joined by
She made man Freddie B. You already know what it is because I am your father.
All right. I guess you gotta find your Luke then, huh?
Oh, pause.
And who else we got?
Hey, what it do? It's your girl Alona Boo.
And you're not Princess Leia, are you?
No,
I just had to ask.
absolutely not.
Star Wars thing.
She said, absolutely not.
And who else we got on the line?
Hail to the no.
It's not your baby daddy. It's the good doctor, Dr. Buddy Lee.
All right, now he tomorrow. It's not your baby daddy. So are you the father? Oh no, Freddie be the father.
No.
So you the Luke?
No,
Oh, okay. All
it's
right.
not my baby daddy.
And for all y'all listening, we're bringing you all these feelings from the comfort of our home. That's right, 100% remote. So if you feel our show, show us how you feel by subscribing so you can get notified when the new episodes drop. And if you like what you hear, send us a message. Our handles are in the description below. We love to hear how you feel. In today's episode, we're talking about Father's Day and do we celebrate it the same? But first, it's time for a moment I like to call the Internet NEVA LOSS. Yes, that's right. In my attempt to navigate through the endless insanity of interconnectivity that we all call the internet, I decided to do a 3-part series to my Internet NEVA LOSS, but it's short. It's not really that long. I'm gonna give the fathers a little comedy since it's Father's Day. Give them a little bit to laugh at. Then we're gonna talk about something serious. And then we'll punch it up at the end with a friend that we all know. Well, hopefully he's a friend to you guys. But here's the first clip. A little comedy for y'all. Hope you like.
Let me say this. I've been thinking about this too. Father's Day is the worst holiday in the world. I've done the research. I already know. Let me tell you something. Mother's Day is the second most celebrated holiday in the world. Christmas is first. So that means it's Jesus, then your mama. You know what Father's Day fall at? Number 20. I can't think of 18 other holidays. Do you realize Halloween is number 6? Does that mean ghosts and goblins go before fathers? Arbor Day is number 13. I don't even know what that is. I just know it come before me. That's crazy. Columbus Day is number 16. Celebrating Columbus Day is like celebrating somebody finding money in your house. Where you get that $50 from? I discovered it in your kitchen. Ridiculous. Fathers, and it's mother's fault. It's mother's fault. Because see, when Mother's Day come around, fathers go in their pocket deep. Go in their pocket deep. Hey, I want to give my mama something. You cash that money out. You know what mothers do? Hey, I want to get daddy something. Well, go in that car. It's some change in my little cup holder in there. Don't nobody even have a sale for Father's Day. Who has a Father's Day sale? Mother's Day sale is like 30 of them. Everybody have Mother's Day sale. Don't nobody have no Father's Day sale. Who has Father's Day sale? The dollar store. That's how you get water hose and jumper cables for fathers. And the stores know this because now the store got a little trick for fathers. They make little packages where a little box give you suspenders, socks, and a shirt. One box. And you know what kids do? They give you that stuff throughout the year. They give you that shirt for Father's Day, them socks for your birthday, and then they just randomly give you something else as, you know, they think about it. It's crazy. Father's Day sucks. And I'm a father. I did all this work to be a father for it to suck.
Well, along that lines, I hope y'all fathers, had a good laugh in there. There's a promo that they play every Father's Day. Now they've been playing for a few years now. I don't have the whole program. I got a little piece of it. I want y'all to take a listen of it. And I pulled this from Alba and Preacher's YouTube channel where they kind of discussed this afterwards. And they're going to help introduce some of the topics we're going to discuss today. Take a listen.
This is an older video, but it kind of represents a sentiment that I see every Father's Day.
My father passed away when I was 3. There was 4 of us kids within 5 years. So my mom had to raise 4 kids by herself.
My mom was a single mother.
So she raised both of us completely by herself, which is... I'm sorry.
I don't know how she raised 3 boys on her own with such grace.
I've definitely seen her try to juggle both mom, dad, and everything else that she had to be for herself.
She did all of it, and she did it all as though she was 2 people.
But she was tough, huh? She was not a joke.
Say our car broke down. Oh, well, that's the alternator.
She was like, when you punch, she's like, you put your knuckle out and you just go for it. I mean, I don't even know if that's a thing.
And that is the best way to break your fingers.
She really is like the most amazing mother, but she was really an incredible father. Like, truly incredible.
Man, if you think your mom was your father, listen, you can say your mom was your everything. You can say that your mom filled her role and above and beyond super well, but don't say she was her father. I was raised in a single mother household, so I understand. You don't acknowledge the great work that single mothers do by taking away the shine of fathers. Because all you do is perpetuate the idea that fathers are replaceable, that fathers aren't needed. And in a time where we need fathers in kids' life at an all-time high, it seems very irresponsible to push that narrative. Children need a male mentor. A lot of them are going to say they don't and all this stuff, but generally they do. People who don't have fathers in their lives are far more likely to drop out of school, be lower socioeconomic background, have a harder time in life, more likelihood to be involved in crime, all kinds of other statistics. It's bad. So yes, kids generally do need 2 parents. Ideally, they need a male mentor. So when you say this stuff, you tell them that it's not important. A couple other things. Moms, don't talk shit about your father to your kids.
If you got a problem, you deal with that.
Yes, but don't bias your kids against the father. Even if he may be a bad person, it's a bad idea. Coming from my own experience, my mother did that. It biased my relationship with my dad. And so when I would end up spending time with him, it was very difficult for me because I felt like I was on team mom and I was angry at my dad, not recognizing that he was really trying to make an effort and he went above and beyond in a lot of ways. But I was too angry based off all the things that my mom had fed me. Good woman, didn't mean well, and you know what? She had a hard life and I can acknowledge it.
Yep.
But it doesn't make what she did right. It doesn't.
Your mom's a hustler. Your mom's a G. Your mom handled everything, but she is not a father.
What if you're parental fluid?
Then happy fluid day for you. I mean,
Happy fluid day for you. Listen, in our last clip, I hope y'all like him. Rickey Smiley. Comes with Rickey Smiley's morning show. Just take a listen. He gives a little shout out. This shout out to the fathers, but this happened on his show live.
Big shout out to all the fathers on Father's Day. What? Yeah. It's Father's Day weekend, man, and I want to just say Happy Father's Day to you, Hair Crack. Happy Father's Day to you, Rock T.
Thank you, sir.
Happy Father's Day to your fiance, Eva.
Thank you.
And Shanika, anybody in your family, you want to celebrate Father's Day? Happy Father's Day to them.
Thank
you. I'm just excited.
Can I add one more, Ricky?
Absolutely.
Can we say Happy Father's Day to all the single moms out there?
No.
No, listen. I was a single mom.
No, ma'am. We do that on Mother's Day. That's what Mother's Day is for. No, ma'am. Don't discredit. Father's Day is always looked at second and frowned upon. But like we don't exist. Cause I promise you, we ain't seen no TV commercials, no nothing, no hype, nothing around Father's Day or whatever. We single mothers get theirs on Mother's Day. That's what Mother's Day is for.
But I'm.
Whew. Okay, that's a lot to take in, y'all. So I got 2 questions for the audience. Is it Mother's Day's fault that Father's Day is not celebrated the same? And should we celebrate mothers on Father's Day? Send us a message. Our handles are in the description below. And let us know how you feel. This has been yours truly, T Staples, in this week's edition of The Internet Never Lost. And wow, it didn't lose this time. Okay, everybody. Alona Boo, Freddie B, Dr. Butterly. I'm going to let y'all shake the jitters off because I know y'all got some stuff to say about that. But the reason why I want to play those 3 clips, one, I want to give the fathers, the shout out to the fathers, all Father's Day, fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to y'all. All the men who have raised their children to become, outstanding women and men of our society. Shout out to them, And I want to play that first clip to give them some love, give them some comedy, but then, all comedy has some truth to it. Right. And that first clip was from Ali Sadiq. I'm pretty sure y'all heard of him before, right? He's a big comic.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
And that set he does on about Father's Day, I thought it's funny, but it's some reality in it, right? Like how people don't really give it the same respect, that the Mother's Day gets. And in that commercial, that second commercial is almost like the proof of what he was doing, what he was talking about in his comedy, right? They literally got a whole commercial for Mother's Day. I mean, for mothers on Father's Day, that is. And Rickey Smiley even articulated his. They don't see no commercials for Father's Day. You know what I mean? You might have the sale at Macy's or something like that, but you really don't see any commercials like that for Father's Day. Why you think, there was a need for that? I don't know. The Albert and Preach, the reason why I let their stuff play out, because those are 2 men who were raised by single mothers. So I want to let them play out how they feel about seeing something like that as men who've been raised by a single mother. So Alona Boo, Freddie B, Dr. Budley, whoever want to go first, what y'all think about the Internet Never Lost clips? Anyone y'all want to address first?
I believe they shouldn't discredit fathers like they do. It's basically going to say Father's Day on say Happy Mother's Day to single mothers on Father's Day. It's I mean, that's kind of silly to me. I mean, that's why they're called a father. I mean, they had to get the seed from somebody.
Well, yeah, this idea was perpetuated somewhere.
So, I mean, that sounds silly to me. I mean, that's why, like what Rickey Smiley said, Mother's Day was celebrated on Mother's Day, and Father's Day is celebrated on Father's Day. Now, if the father's not around, then you just don't celebrate it. But you don't celebrate the mother twice. It doesn't make any sense to me.
She was adamant too. She was, I want to celebrate. We need to celebrate the mothers. He was like, wait, no. no.
What we not gonna do?
Yeah, and she go on that particular broadcast. She went on to explain her position about the mother's doing double work on the father, but he pushed back and was like, well, but then you got good men out there. Mm-hmm. You got good men who done done what they supposed to do. That's what the day's supposed to be about. So they went back and forth a little bit. I didn't play the whole back and forth between them, but it does go a little bit deeper than that. But it ends with, at the end of the day, Ricky going, but we here to celebrate fathers, and so that's why I stopped it there, because that's essentially what he got to is, we here to celebrate fathers, But these commercials do exist, and this idea of Father's Day not being as significant is a reality that we are faced with here in America. And let's not forget that a lot of this stuff, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Easter, all this stuff is marketing ploys to get you to go buy stuff, right?
Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But why has it been so lackluster for fathers? What have we missed?
I mean, what I say is, should single mothers be celebrated on Father's Day? I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I used to do that. Mm-hmm. I used to fall into that trap, and I would do that. Like the chicks I knew that was single mothers, I was like, Happy Father's Day and all that stuff. In my 20s, early mid, maybe even to my late 20s, I used to do that. And then when I got my 30s, then I got to where Rickey Smiley was, and realized like I'm really shortchanging the men. Like I'm taking the focus off men, and like you said, like you got a lot of great fathers. You got a lot of fathers, period. Whether they're great, good, okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're making their efforts and doing that, and you got to recognize them, because Mother's Day we recognize all the mothers, regardless of what they doing. If they great, good, okay, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So let's recognize the fathers and not recognize mothers who we are just giving a father term because they the only one there. It's just they're not being, because I got caught up in that saying of, oh, she's the mother and the father because she's the only one there. And it's like, no, she's just the mother. The child just don't have a father.
Mm-hmm.
So the child is just shortchanged out here. It's just simple as that. And to the point of Father's Day being on the level of Mother's Day, I think it's similar to like Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, as we all know, is for the most part, it's about the woman. Mm-hmm. It's like, what you gonna buy your woman? What you gonna do for your woman? And to tie in to what you just said, Thomas, about all this stuff is just retail ploy so retail can make money. Because I used to work in retail. I know the whole spiel behind it. It's like, it's money. On to the next holiday. Once the holiday is done, we don't, like Father's Day, they do a little bit for Father's Day, then it's July 4th. And as soon as Juneteenth becomes something, best believe everything niggas buy. Juneteenth coming up, get this Juneteenth sale. Like, it's just just on. And
celebrate your freedom sale.
Exactly. And actually in retail, after July 4th, there's not really a big holiday until you get to Labor Day. So now, if you notice, what a lot of the people do now is they do Christmas in July. Amazon got Amazon Day, like later in July. Even Nordstrom's got this something they celebrate their anniversary or something that is all at the end of July, where they got all these crazy sales. So everybody got something. They just make up something in July that they use to spur sales. So bringing it back to Mother's Day and Father's Day, and also, so that's a big reason. It's holidays are big for women because women get like drummed up, they get swayed by holidays and buy me stuff. Dudes, we don't care. It's like, like I don't know any father who on Father's Day you didn't buy them something. Like, hold on, wait, I ain't getting nothing. Y'all remember I'm your father? Like, all we want is a call to say Happy Father's Day. That's it, and we good. Like, you ain't got to go out and buy stuff and all that. Like, dudes ain't on that. Mother's Day, if you ain't buy nothing for the mother, or you ain't do something just like Valentine's Day, a lot of women out here, they about to pitch a bitch out here. Right. They about to pitch a bitch. Like, what? Happy Mother's Day, that it?
Yeah.
That's it? That's all we got? That's all we doing? Ain't no breakfast, no dinner? Oh, y'all niggas tripping.
Brunch?
You see the next time I cook in here, you ain't want to take me out for Mother's Day and I cook it. You see the next time I cook, we'll find out when you going to eat. It's like, damn, you going to starve us to death? Okay.
It's interesting because I think there's a statistic that says that out of every dollar that's spent in America, 73 cents was spent by a woman. And I said, damn, that's deep. How's that happening? You think, with, the imbalance of income, but there's statistics that says that the women are more consumer,
more likely to spend.
Right.
Yeah.
Women spend the money. That's why everything is catered and marketed towards them, because women gonna spend the money. Men simple. Like, I think we talked about this time. It's like if girls went on this earth, Thomas, a girl could be on Earth. Thomas don't care. His studio gonna be tricked down. He gonna have speakers and a monitor and invisible wires that connect it all. And he'd be able to clap his hands once, and all the lights cut off, and all types of goofy stuff just with his cell phone. You go in this living room, he have a big TV and a couch. That's damn near every dude. Have a nice TV and a comfortable place to sit. That is it.
Yeah, you
all we need.
Sit. Right. That's it.
Exactly. That's all we want. Women, you gotta have the paintings on the wall. You gotta have the feng shui with the plants coming up, and then the centerpiece.
Women do require, so from time to time, and I don't know about all women, but the women that have been in my life, I'll say that the women I've experienced, there's a little bit more needed for when the living situation.
I mean, nothing is absolute, but that's women.
Yeah, it's women.
Women need all that. Women want and they need all that. They
make it comfortable.
Like they'll pitch a bitch if you ain't buy something for them. Like, it's majority. I mean, yeah, of course there are some women. Like my mom, she ain't, maybe just being around me and my brothers, she's just gotten like that. But she not really on like Valentine's Day, spend all this money and do this and buy this. She's very economically sound when it comes to that. She ain't trying to. She just want to be thought of. She just, hey, mom.
But
happy Mother's Day.
I wonder if that's because she had boys. She had all boys, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if it's just
my
being
mom.
around us.
My mom had all boys, and we were raised by my mom and my dad. We had pretty much a 2-parent household for the majority of my life. My younger brother, not so much, because my parents got divorced. But for the majority of my life, 2-parent household. And what's interesting about my mom having all boys, what I've always found interesting is I've kind of wondered what would have happened if we had a sister. And now that one of my siblings has had a baby, he had a girl, first girl in 30 years in our family, by the way, which is crazy. First girl in 30 years.
Nuts.
And so it's like, it's interesting to see that her change. You know, she's grandma now, and she's like, you know, she's just to see her, how she's acting a little different than the mom. I'm like, this ain't the mom I knew. This is different. And I wondered if, like with your mom having boys, it kind of, not necessarily remove femininity from her, but it kind of hardened her a little bit. You know what I mean? Like to where some of the things she may have done more regularly, she didn't do as much, you know,
I'm sure she has. You know, as humans, we adapt. You adapt to your surroundings just now. Even if you don't want to, if you around it enough, you're gonna eventually just adapt.
I mean, it's all dudes in my family, so it's like, what you gonna do? It's all men, like, right. You know. So it was interesting, but what do we think about the comedy? I know that the comedy of Ali Sadiq, you know, it was comedy, but do you feel like there's some truth in, like when he talked about how sometimes they do the gift giving process, like they give you, like he said they'll buy a set and then they'll take the set and break it apart. Okay, we'll get this for Father's Day, we'll get this one for Christmas. Like I thought that was interesting because I feel like I've heard that before from a friend, but I remember telling like, nah, just give them the whole thing. Hey, fuck it, it's Father's Day, so what? Just give, you know what I mean? Like, because most fathers don't really ask for much on Father's Day anyway, so like,
you know my daddy.
Yeah.
Shit.
How we
daddy was asking for the world.
My daddy wanted every damn thing, and then he rush you to get it. You be like, damn, can you wait for your day? And he be then told us he wants something. Then next thing you know, we look up 2 days later, he done went and bought it.
Well, I was about to say, I think
he didn't want to wait.
I think that's a man sentiment because that happens to me. Like, so like that happens to me like, well, you know, in relation, like in my relationship when I'll say something like, man, I want this. When it has left my lips, and for me to say I want this,
it's already bought.
In my mind, I've already figured out how to get it.
Gotcha.
So now when you have decided, oh, I'm gonna get that for him, that's gonna be a good gift for him. You better be on your guns, cause nigga, you turn around like I've been told in several relationships that I ruin gifts. Like that's what women have told
I can see that.
They say you ruin gifts, and I was like, what does that mean? Because how you gonna buy the stuff that I'm buying for you? I'm like, I didn't know you was buying it for me. Yeah, I was getting it for your birthday. I
can see that too. Yeah,
but I've been got it. You know.
Yeah, because Thomas, it's only a handful of things that a nigga really could get you. It ain't much stuff that a nigga could buy you anyway. Because your main interest is, it's like in a couple of things. Like, and it's largely technology. Like if somebody gets you some technology skewed stuff, a new cell phone, some nice speakers, some mics, stuff around, because you all about making money. So something around you can flip and then use to make money, then that's your thing. You know what I mean? Like some people got, like me, I like sneakers. I like, I got all these different various entries. But like I said, going back to what you said, you had a great point. With men, we go into problem solving mode, especially like, I don't know if it's type A, type B, our types of mind. Like Thomas was an architectural engineering major, right?
Yeah.
I was a computer science major at first. When you got those STEM major men, on top of that, we go straight into problem solving mode because that's how we wire. We go like, okay, how can this be fixed? And that's most men, but then you go to that level, like immediately, I want this. Okay, how can I get it? I'm gone. You better catch up, nigga.
Yeah. So it's when Alana said that, it resonates with me because I'm like, oh, that's me all day. Like, yeah, if you, because a lot of times it's I don't know if you do this with your shoes, Freddie B. A lot of times you've already researched the thing you're talking about. So by the time you talking about it, it's already, you done thought about this. Like, I done researched the shoe, I done whatever. Me, it's like with the same thing with technology. Like, by the time you start hearing me talk about the phone, nigga, it might be on order. Like, it might be, I couldn't, for whatever reason, I couldn't get it that day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about to show up. So I got that. Women would tell me all the time, you ruin gifts. And so it's one of those things where it's like, well, listen, if you trying to play the sneaky thing with me, you got to catch me while I'm researching it. You got to catch me while it's in my browser, because once I click X on that browser, I don't need to look at it no more. I know I'm getting it. Yeah,
surprise. I said, like I said, when you deal with those type of minds as a woman, if you gonna surprise that man, you gotta be on your JO. You gotta be on your guns. You gotta be real clever, because you gotta know what he want, and then you gotta be out in front of him. and then you gotta be able to get it. Because it's like with me, like for example, with sneakers, a lot of sneakers I want, you gotta be able to get them because they're hard to get. So it's like if you able to get something I want, and then all the stuff I be wanting be expensive too. So it's like I don't even expect nobody to buy it for me.
Yeah. That's another thing.
Like,
yeah.
It's like, shoes $300, $400, $500, computer, cell phone, $1,000. This. It's like, who gonna get this for me? I'm gonna have to get this. Like, I can't ask nobody for this. I can't ask somebody for no PlayStation 5. Like, who gonna buy that for me?
Yeah. So yeah. So that's interesting. That's a good little side note to Father's Day. If you're gonna get your father something, my dad was pretty easy though. And so I had to put this in perspective. I grew up in a household of all boys became men. So it's kind of difficult because I'm thinking about
boys to men.
That's right. So it's like,
and we go
right. So it's like,
I did there.
So with the mindset of it is, I know for example, right now, I know exactly what my dad wants. He wanted a new flat screen TV. And his mind is he probably wanted to fill up the whole white space on the wall. Without me asking him, I know that because I know him. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what he want, but he also don't know technology the way I know technology. So a lot of times he'll buy something, and I don't know why he does it this way, but he'll buy something and come back and ask me, okay, now was this good? Like to validate the purchase. Like, and I'm like, nah, Pop, man, you can get what you need. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know in my mind, I'm gonna buy something. I would suggest something way more expensive than what, you know what I mean, than what he would even dare put a penny on. You know what I mean? I would buy a $3,000 TV. He thinks that's absurd. I think that's regular. And so like I know exactly what he want, and I can tell my brothers, okay, boom, I know what Pop want, and we can strategize because we know exactly when he gonna pull the trigger and get it. It's gonna be on a transactional date. Either he got paid a bonus, one of his lump sum checks released for his retirement. You know what I mean? Like on one of them days, best believe he come through the house with something new. So we already know how to get ahead of him. And I don't know if that's because, like I said, we know him, we boys, or we just all think the same. Like, okay, we know Pop gonna do this. He ain't gonna do it on Father's Day. That ain't gonna come 2 weeks before Father's Day. So we already know. Like last year, he wanted an outdoor set. What do you call it? Like benches and chairs and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? You put outside
patio furniture.
There we go. Patio furniture. There we go.
Furniture. Oh, I thought you said you want some bitches. I was like, Columbia.
outdoor set of them.
He don't want them to live with him. He want them to stay outside
On the leash, outdoors.
I can't have no bitches in the house. You did.
Right. There's no bitches on up in here. You know what I'm saying, my niggas. But yeah. So we got ahead of that and got that for him, and boom, it was there. But what's funny is this nigga had it, like he had it up on his browser, ready to buy it. Just like you said, he had it ready. He was ready to like, I'm getting this, and we just so happened to like be ahead of him. Like I already knew. My brothers got together, we did it, and I put it on order. It got to him before Father's Day, and it was like, oh dang.
So you made me think about sometimes when you telling your daddy story. What do y'all call y'all dad? Your father, your paternal person to help give birth to.
Everybody calls him something different. So he's our father, but I call him Pop. My brother, my two brothers underneath me, call him Dad, and then the younger brothers call him Daddy. Like even though they older now, they still call him. They say Daddy. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting because I've always called him Pop. I always thought him as Pop, and I think that's because me growing up with him, I was kind of like. I would have to go to where he worked. So, this is back when you had to go with your parents to work sometimes. Some people still have to do this today, but, now my parents are a little bit more affluent. They don't have to do that, but back when I was young, when I was being raised, I had to be with them. You know what I mean? Like when I wasn't in school, I was with them. So I would hear people call him Pop State where he worked. So I picked that up. I was like, Pop. I just started calling Pop when I was a kid. So I think that's what.
Buddy and Alana, what y'all call your daddy?
I just call my daddy Daddy.
Daddy, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I call my dad Daddy, but I call him a lot. I mean, if I'm having a conversation with him,
mm-hmm.
I call him Daddy, but then I also call him Pops,
mm-hmm.
like with the S,
mm-hmm.
Old Man. Sometimes I call him Old Man, and then sometimes I call him his name.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have conversations like we equal. So
I never call.
It's always I'm messing with him.
Yeah, I never.
No.
I've never said when I say James, I'm talking about one of my brothers. I never said James and it meant my father. Never in my life. And I'm not no disrespect to what you're doing, Fred. I'm just saying for me, that ain't even in my mind to say. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nah.
I mean, like with me,
Hell
I think it's like one of them things where especially if you know me, like how I am with the comedies. Like even my grandmother, I call her grandma now, but I used to call her Medea. She was like calling Medea, so we could differentiate between the two grandmothers.
Mm-hmm.
But even now, sometimes I call her name and her middle name, Brenda Joyce.
Mm-hmm.
But I say it in a way I'm like, Brenda Joyce. Hello, Brenda Joyce.
Oh, like coming
How
down
are
for
you
the
doing,
church?
Brenda Joyce?
Come down. Yeah.
So I call her Brenda Joyce sometimes. But it's like I guess the way I say it is like because I mean I get what you're saying. Like that's a common thing. Like I ain't calling my parents their first name because it's like disrespectful. But
well, yeah, not even just disrespectful. I just never like in my mind like that thinking. I wouldn't call like I would never like I've only said my mom's name in reference to when I was announcer for something. You know what I mean? Like, oh, and upcoming my mom, Mary, so and so. You know what I mean? Like, then I said it, but like I just ain't never like in conversation, like you said, in conversation you said that. Like I was like, I ain't never done that.
No. In conversation I call him daddy, but like if I like for example, if I call him, like I called him earlier today. I called him, and then I was like, Fred, what up? Like, because I
that's crazy. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy.
I mimic him when you talk to me because we got the same name.
Well, I was about to say because you're his namesake, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I would only imagine. So, I am my grandfather's namesake, and my brother is my dad's namesake, and I never have ever called my grandfather my name, never, and I've never heard my brother say to my dad his name, like never once. Like it's almost, and I guess it is a pseudo type of respect, like you said, of some sorts.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just baked in our mind, like like he don't call dad pops, he call him dad. He be like dad, like he be saying like he's sad too. Like if you hear he play with dad, because you never know. Sometimes your dad is like authoritative figure in your mind, and sometimes you know. Mm-hmm. It's like you become a little kid again sometimes around him. For me, I kind of recognize the difference with my transition from kid to man, but I always called him pops. But I just say it different. It's not like pops. It's pops. It's a little more bass in my voice, And but he said it a little down. So I think that's interesting that you said to your dad his name. I was like, oh man, not that it's a bad thing. I'm just
like I said, I normally do it. Like especially if I'm calling him and I emulate how he says my name. Like when he calls me, so I'm emulating him talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes he'll come, he be like, hey boy, like as soon as I pick up, if he got a question, like, hey boy, look, so and he ask a question. So sometimes I do the same to him. I'll sound just like him. He'll start laughing because he already know I'm emulating how he talks to me.
And now that you brought this subject up, it's interesting because the reverse. Like, Alana, what did your dad call you?
You mean like my little nickname or something?
What did he call you just in general? Like when he talked to you, he's trying to get you coming downstairs. He'd be like, what'd he say?
He'd just be like Lana.
Yeah, anytime it's something serious. He don't say the full name, but he say my first name like he meant business. You know what I mean? I do remember that. I can't say that. So,
hold on, Buddy Lee. What your daddy call you?
Yeah, what you call you? Yeah, what your daddy call you? Buddy?
He just calls me
He's still
Lee.
stuck in Cuba.
No, he calls me Lee. But I'm his namesake too. So he just calls me, just says Lee, and just we just leave it like that.
He never call you son or boy or.
I mean, he as referencing me as something, but he'll call me by my name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He call you by your name in Spanish?
No. In English.
What is Lee in Spanish? What is that? How do you say that?
Le. I was just about to say Le.
We so American. Good Lord.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Okay. You ain't had no nickname. My nickname was T. Sometimes my father would say T.
No.
Okay. Just straight Lee. All right. Well, well, there it is.
Ilian. Your nickname wasn't Ilian, buddy?
What are you trying to call me, the little kid that fell down the little well?
Oh, is that what it is?
That ain't Ilian. Ilian is
Ilian the one that was on the raft or something?
Yeah.
Coming from Cuba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought the little boy fell down
Somebody
the little well.
with me.
Yeah.
Ilian, you I'm like, you remember Ilian Gonzalez? What?
Yeah.
I forgot about
He
that.
defected from Cuba.
Ago.
He was on a raft, sailed from Cuba to Florida.
About that.
Yep.
It's only 90 miles.
Yeah. It's only 90 miles? You know how long? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
buddy,
only
no,
90 miles.
he done got a little rowboat, a little speedboat.
Well,
back and forth.
I got a question for y'all about this Father's Day situation because it seems like
What's up?
There's been an attack on just masculinity in general lately, and I don't want to go too deep into the attacks that we've had. But when it comes to Father's Day, should we highlight the work that single mothers are doing? And
no,
and because it seems like that's what they do, and it kind of the way they want to highlight single mothers is by taking away from fathers.
Exactly.
I mean, do y'all see that messaging out there?
Yeah. I mean, I think most definitely. You know, I mean, even more specifically in the black community, is definitely a big time attack. Because I mean, like I said, we've done the research before between men and women in relationships and all that type of stuff, and so we know that if you kill the men, you kill the race of a species. So that's where the backbone. You know, the man is the backbone of a family. So specifically speaking, in a black family, if you celebrate masculinity, then you got to celebrate black men, and that's the last thing people want. Anybody other than black want out there. A black man, strong black man, backbone for his family. He got kids, he got a wife, and he running things the way it need to be ran, and he's taking care of his family. They don't want black men to look like that. They want black men to look like something else other than taking care of his wife and taking care of the kids. They want something else.
Alona Boo,
What's up?
should we highlight the work of single mothers
On Father's Day?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I totally disagree with it. You know, as somebody who had a present father in the household, that, you know, that's not something that, you know, that I ever seen, you know, promoted or anything like that. Even when my parents weren't together, because I had a period of time in my life where I was raised by a single mother, and it was never any, you know, disrespect towards my father. You know, she never talked down to me about my father, anything like that. And every time Father's Day came around, it was, okay, let's celebrate your father. So, you know, when my parents did get back together and my father was back in the household and all that good stuff, it was a equal celebration between Father's Day and Mother's Day. And I believe that that's the way it should be. I don't think that, we should, you know, I've seen hashtag ban Father's Day, you know, for a multitude of reasons, you know, and I'm just like, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, so we just gonna totally discredit every present father, you know, that's in his household, that's doing what he's supposed to do. So we just gonna say, you know, screw him, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we just gonna root for the single mothers and, you know, and stuff like that, which I'm like, you know, pro single mother, like, yes, do your thing, but that's what Mother's Day is for. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a whole holiday that's designated just for you. It's your day as the mother. And although you have to fill a lot of those positions, it does not make you the man in their life. Because a lot of men still grow up, even though they had a present, you know, mother who, you know, who played, you know, essentially both roles, you know what I'm saying, as they say, but they still have some psychological issues behind not having a father present.
Right.
So that's saying something. That's saying that fathers need to be present, and that a woman cannot do a man's job.
Right.
Amen.
Dr. Buddy Lee, are fathers useless?
No.
Why?
Now, well, first of all, it takes a mother and a father to create a child. So he can't be useless if he can still create. Now, I will say, because of society today and a lot of the cultural things that are going on, they're trying to devalue him, but no, he still has value. It's just there are some, I will say, that need to step up to the plate a little bit better than they've done in the past. Because I heard somebody saying earlier, you know, they were saying, well, I didn't have a father. No, you have a father. You just don't know him. But you have a father. Everybody has a father. You just don't. You may not have a relationship with them.
It's like you have a father, but was he a dad or something like that? You know how people
You
use that?
have a dad, but was he a father?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, but he just wasn't a part of your life. Because I have seen where situations, you know, I used to work in IT, and I dealt with I worked in an area where they deal with child support enforcement, and I would hear some of these stories, and some of the people that I would hear the stories, I'm like, wait a minute, I know this person they're talking about, and this dude's out here working 3 jobs just to make sure she can get the money that she's asking for. She keeps asking for more, but then she don't want to give him an opportunity to see his own child. I was like, that's wrong. But I've seen situations like that. So, but no. Yeah, fathers, there are fathers and there are the good ones, and there are some who just need to step up to the plate, or some who just never been shown how to, had a good representation of what a good father's like. And so they kind of kept the same generational thing going. It's like, oh, I'm just going to make a baby and move on.
Right. Well, in America, there are 13.6 million single parents raising 21 million children.
Wow.
Of the single parents, guess what? 16% of them are single fathers. Did y'all know that?
I didn't know the percentage, but I do know that there are a lot of single fathers out there.
Well, I didn't even know that. I was expecting this percentage to be like 1% or 0.2% single fathers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to know that there are men out there raising children on their own as single fathers, is celebrating mothers on Father's Day, does that take away from these men who are putting the work in?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah.
No question.
Because it seems that this is, at least from my perspective, this pulls from those men, especially when you talk about people who are in a 2-family household. This also pulls from the single fathers. It almost says they ain't nothing. Like, what do you? Or if you're going to highlight the woman on Father's Day, it's basically saying, oh, because that person had such a shitty dad. You know what I mean? So what if we highlighted men on Mother's Day? Oh my God, what would happen then?
Oh, you already know.
Oh my goodness. Cancel culture. We had an episode about cancel culture. Cancel culture would be lit if we did that. That's crazy. So what are some of the things that y'all think that, men face today challenge-wise to kind of gain back I don't know, I don't want to say we lost the respect of Father's Day, but how can we make this more prominent? I mean, like, what can we change in the messaging of what we are in our everyday lives doing? I think Freddie B said something earlier when he talked about shifting his perspective as he got older. As being one of the things that, I had to stop doing this. But to hear how loosely the woman said it on Rickey Smiley's show, on the clip we played for the Internet NEVA LOSS, it's like this is in the, I don't want to say the zeitgeist, this is in the culture almost. This is embedded, right? This
it is.
Right. So how do we de-embed something like this? It's tough as this is or can be. Any thoughts?
Kind of like what Ricky said. We're not going to do that. No, this is Father's Day, and that's what we're going to celebrate. Mother's Day just passed, so mothers will celebrate it. Now Father's Day is here. That's who we're going to celebrate.
So you saying it's just got to be a intentional foot put down,
Yeah, basically.
I mean, there's not a lot of Rickey Smileys out there. No, go ahead, Freddie B.
I actually do not think that it will change because, kind of what I was saying about, like, you take away the men in a race, that race will fall. But, we're all a part of the human race. And, eventually the human race will fall. And so, I think that would be that would be a big catalyst in the human race falling, is that, men will fall. Men will be obsolete, quote unquote. Men, being a man, masculinity will not be a thing. And so, you look at, even outside of just celebrating fathers, we could probably do a whole one-day show about all the different things that are erasing masculinity and erasing being a man. So I actually don't think it'll be fixed, but that doesn't mean that we can't try. And trying, I think, probably includes kind of what Rickey Smiley did, and then people who have families, like actually celebrating your father. You know what I mean? Like making that day like it's a celebration, like it's a thing. Like
right.
And right. A lot of that falls on the mother. the mother like, no, we actually gonna celebrate your father today. It ain't just gonna be like y'all give him some socks and then we go on the rest of our day. You know, it's like, no, this is gonna be a celebration. Today is all about your dad. Like, everything we do is focused on your dad. You know, we gonna sing, we gonna continue. This is gonna be a 24-hour deal, just like it is on Mother's Day. We're gonna do it like that on Father's Day. So it's up to individual families to really press that in. Like, dad is important. Oh, and to add, I think a lot of times in death is when we really celebrate men.
I know, isn't that unfortunate?
In death.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
At the funeral, then it's like everybody comes out.
He was a great man.
He was a great man, and everybody comes out. Everybody got speeches about how powerful this man, how he changed my life, and how he mentored these kids. And because like, usually, like when you think about funerals for men be ridiculous. You know what I mean? Big. Everybody comes out. It's take parades and all that. Like for women, funerals don't really be that big. People, you know, I mean, yeah, some caveats, but generally speaking, for men, it's just be like, yo, like he died. Oh my God, like it's a
right,
void.
like a pillar, like a pillar is gone. Right.
It's like this is a void in our community. This is a void in our family. You know, the patriarch passed. It's like, man, this is real big, and that's really the only time men are like celebrated.
Right, they get that
death.
Celebration. Right. Yeah. Dang, man, that's kind of cold too. If you think about it, that's sad, man. That don't make me feel good on the inside because it's funny because on the same show that we listened to for Rickey Smiley, he was talking about giving them the roses now. The men who are helping kids with scholarships or, you know, being a coach on the Little League team or, you know, these men who are showing up.
Yeah, who are present.
Yeah, and he's talking about giving them the roses. And I was thinking to myself, man, how often do you see that? You know, or if we see it, it's like you said, it's a little bit of celebration and we go on about our business for the rest of the day. Like Freddie B was saying, okay, he got his socks. Cool. Now we out. You know, and I wonder if that is something that we can, as a society, agree that, you know, we need to do this. You know, we need to celebrate when it's their turn. Let's make sure we all are giving the men in our lives, the fathers in our lives, the ones that even if it's your stepfather and he was there for you all your life, we're giving those men, you know, the roses that they deserve or the socks, as Freddie B say, you know. Give them the socks they deserve. I mean, I don't need no socks.
Or the tie, the drawers.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind a nice tie every now and then, or just, you know, suit shirt, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, me, like if you got the new cell phone that came out, I may want that, you know, or whatever. But, you know, that's interesting. You know, I think that we have to really find a way to, you know, to celebrate the fathers, the men in our lives. And what is further interesting to me is that if we were not needed, being a single mom would not be as difficult as it is. And I really believe that.
That's a good point.
If we were to now if we acted like we needed each other and we try to keep the relationships together, you know what I mean? I think people would have, the statistics say we would have better lives, but children would be, you know, better, more well off. But I just think that there's something we have to think about, you know, because you hear single mothers talking about it's a struggle, and it sounds kind of like not to say asinine or to be just so in your face and blunt with it. It's like, well, yeah, because you're doing it by yourself. You know, 2-parent household. I mean, 2 incomes. Just think about 2 incomes. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna help off rip some financial issues.
But it's funny when you hear the phrase, I can do it all by myself, but then you keep hearing about the struggle, and it's like, well, which one is it? I mean, can you do it by yourself, or is it
it's normally I can do bad all by myself.
Well, I mean, but then you hear the complaints about, well, I had to raise these kids on my own. It's like, well, I mean...
Right. It's like, don't complain afterwards. You know what I'm saying? You had the kids, and now you want to complain about the upbringing of the kids.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Woo, man. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but it's a lot of feelings I got about this thing. And I want to celebrate Father's Day the way we're supposed to do it, by celebrating my father.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I hope that we all agree that that's what we should be doing, you know. And I know everybody didn't have a father in their life. But you know what? and this may be hard to digest for some people, but even if your father is alive, you know what I mean? You might not be able to talk to him. Send him something. You know, it could be a card. Hey, you know, I know we haven't spoken, whatever. Just want to say, you know, thank you for bringing me into this world. If you love yourself, you got to at least love that portion of your father. You know, the part that gave you life, if nothing else. And I know that may be hard for people to hear, but, you know, take it for what it is.
That's good, though. That's a powerful statement.
Yeah, and I want everybody out there to, you know, this Father's Day, you know what I'm saying? If you can, find in your heart, even if, you know, you may not know your dad, somebody else's dad, you know. You know, if you know they doing right by the community, make sure we celebrate those people, those men, those pillars of our community. Whew, we got way too many feelings about Father's Day, man.
Way.
Yeah.
Way too many feelings.
Listen, send us a message. Our handles are in the description. Let us know how you feel about the Father's Day. And should moms get a highlight on Father's Day? You hear what we feel. This has been a good one. I've been here with
She made man Freddie B, and then when I'm a father, y'all bet not call my wife, tell me some happy Father's Day, I'll beat you down.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And who else we had?
Hey, it's your girl Alona Boo.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Ooh, I like the way she did. You see what she did? Got that rhyme. That's not simile, is it? It's some type of poetry. I'll figure it out later. And who else we got?
The future father, Dr. Buddy Lee.
Oh, right. All right. Profess that, sir. I hear you proclaim. Yes. Profess. So they can manifest. All right. Oh. Hey, look. And I'm yours truly, T. Staples. And make sure you catch us next time when we have too many feelings. Happy Father's Day. Peace.